Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode we had the draft and we also started up the season simulation, and so far we're 29 and 24, which is our best season so far, and hopefully we can continue that down the stretch. But we did run into a little bit of an injury problem near the end, as we did lose Fernando Valdez to injury, which is not good at all. He is going to be on IL for 1 to 2 months with damaged knee cartilage, which really blows, but he was off to a little bit of a slow start to the season. He probably would have picked it up in the second half, but that is a pretty big injury to our team, and hopefully it doesn't affect us making the playoffs or not, because we are just down the outside of a wild card spot, which is pretty crazy considering I think Valdez has already been injured for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And yeah, we also had the draft, and it was a pretty solid draft for us for the most part. We picked up Michael Bland, who looks like he's going to be a pretty good right fielder of us for the future. Him liking Gary Hara in the outfield seems like a really good option. We also got Montaignes, who could be something okay for like the bench because he's got really good contact hitting. Mark Sullivan looks pretty solid. Then we got some guys that weren't as good, like Ojeda's okay, I guess you could say. Doe's okay. But then you got like Ortiz, who's not great, and Silva, who's not great. I am going to give these guys their ELC kind of contracts, though, as well, just because might as well have them as options in case. So yeah, that's pretty much that, and that was our draft. Now, I didn't get any comments in the last episode, but there is a comment from 2 episodes ago from Dylan Bros I'd like to go over, and he says, "Are you able to show the guys that we lost? Just want to check age and stats. Cheers, man. Been a good series so far. Might be time to dive into free agency next year and find some pieces to round out our squad if we're in a playoff spot via trades. Excited to see how it takes the first, third, internal batting stats, Valdez or Calvin." Or Colvin, he means, because I think autocorrect changed it, but Colvin, or even he means Candelario, not Camiliario. I don't know. I think autocorrect, though, changes those things a lot. But yeah, so the guys that we lost, I think, were like Nolan Blackwood and Nick Ames, and I was looking actually at stats, though, at near the end of last episode, but I don't think I looked at these guys. But I know that Nick Ames is having a really good year, if I'm not mistaken. I think he got signed by Texas, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Nick Ames is playing first base in Texas, and he's having a really good year. Like, look at that batting average. He's having a fantastic year, so I don't know if it was a bad move not giving this guy a chance on our 40-man, but yeah, he's having a really good season. Like, I think, what's his OPS? Yeah, his OPS is a 957. He's been really good for Texas, so it kind of sucks that we lost him. And then we also lost Nolan Blackwood, who went to Boston, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Boston that Nolan Blackwood went to. Let me take a look quickly. I think he went to Boston. Where are you, Nolan Blackwood? You were maybe a relief pitcher. Yeah, he's playing as a relief pitcher. He's also been really good for Boston. So I honestly don't know why these 75s are something that good, if they're just going to really good teams or what. But they're having really good seasons, so that's pretty much who we lost in the Rule 5 draft. As for the re-sign stage and stuff like that, I know we lost Nomar Mazara, but I don't know where he went, and I don't remember any other players really where they went. I don't even remember where the trade finder in this is, so I can see where Mazara went, or player finder. So yeah, that's anyways pretty much who we lost, and yeah, that's pretty much that only comment that I'd like to go over, but I don't think we're going to be making any trades yet. I don't know if we will make trades in this episode, because I still like to see how this team plays out. Then again, it does suck losing somebody like Valdez to injury, but I think this team might be able to still play good. We're like above 500. I hope that we could still win games going into All-Star Week, but yeah, let's continue to simulate and see what happens without Valdez in our lineup. I did adjust our lineup to having Brock Deathridge in pretty much as one of our DHs, because he's actually not that bad of a contact hitter. Now, he's not that great as a DH, but it's pretty much what we're going to do as a replacement for Valdez being out with an injury. And then also in some of our other ones, we're going to put in Gary Hara, because Gary Hara is a good contact hitter, as well as good at speed and stealing. So that should help out our lineup a little bit, I think. So yeah, let's get simming to All-Star Week, and hopefully this team can still play good without Valdez, because if not, then we're probably going to end up falling out of a playoff run. But let's see what happens. Sim up to the All-Star Week. We start off with a couple wins and then a couple losses. I don't really like that. Let's auto-fix our AAA lineup. But at least we're still winning games without one of our best players. That's pretty impressive. I mean, this team is building up pretty well. Yeah, we're going to be above 500 going into the All-Star break, I think. Yep, we're 50 and 39, and we're only 0.5 games back of leading the AL Central. So I also want to actually pose a question to you guys about the playoffs. How do we do the playoffs? Because I'm not really that familiar still with the simulation thing where you actually have to like choose to hit and pitch around people and all that. If you guys could maybe explain that in the comments, that would pretty much help a lot. But if not, then we could always just like go to the simulation thing in game or something like that. I don't know, because I haven't been to the playoffs yet in this. So okay, so we're at the All-Star break, which is good. Like I said, I have no idea if we're gonna make any trades or not, because this team is doing good on their own, even without Valdez. As we look at the injury update, Michael Aoki's actually out with a strained bicep, which is not good. And Fernando Valdez will be back within a few days, which is great news for our team. Riley Green's out for 1 to 2 months. Not that that matters. That's not in the MLB. A lot of injuries, though, this year. That injury to Michael Aoki kind of sucks, because he's been, yeah, pretty good as a closer, I think. Like, how much saves does he have? He has 27 saves. Pretty good. Like, he might actually have made the All-Star game. I don't even know. Can we see who made the All-Star game yet? It looks like Colvin made the All-Star game, I think, if I'm reading this correctly. Gerald Martin might have made the All-Star game as well. I'm going to take a look via the actual screen instead, but we're right up there in terms of the playoffs. Let me take a look at the standings quickly. So standings-wise, yeah, we're in the wild card right now, which is good. And we're very close to taking over the lead in our division, with the Twins being right there too. I'm liking how we're playing so far. Not taking a look at our player stats yet till the end of the season, no. Just because I would rather check then. I signed all those guys, right? Just gotta make sure. Okay, good. So let's advance a day. Sim through this day. And we win 10-5 over the White Sox. Let me just take a look and see if anybody made the home run derby. So, no, nobody made the home run derby for us, but there's Harper, Seager, Arozarena. I don't know how to pronounce it still. Betts, Bogarts, Soto, Hira, and Bichette. Interesting. So no home run derby players, but that is okay. Sure, what is the one message that we got? Let's take a look. Completed. Is Valdez back from injury yet, though, or no? Taylor Trammell's on waivers. Isn't this guy like a really good prospect in real life? I don't even know. It's interesting. Is he back yet? No, he's not yet. Hopefully, though, he helps us out a lot. But let's see. Let's go to view today's games and take a look at who's in the All-Star game. Play it full game. But also, so you guys know when we get to the playoff situation, what I'm referring to is when you go to like quick manage. Like, how do you like? I don't even really know what pitching around a pitcher, like a batter, means still technically. Like, is that something you do late in games or what, or early in games? I don't know. But let's go to play full game. Let's take a look at the AL for this All-Star game. So, yeah, we're in the AL, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look at who's there for the rotation. Wait, are we in the AL? I think we are, right? I don't even remember now. I think, yeah, we are. But these are the starting pitchers, so it doesn't look like anybody for us. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody for us. Let's take a look at the batting wise. Brian Packard made it. That's good to see. Brian Packard is there as a bench player. And nobody else made it, or am I blind? Yeah, it looks like nobody else made it. That is kind of surprising. That is kind of surprising that nobody else of ours made it except for Brian Packard, it looks like. Unless I'm just really blind and not seeing anybody else. But there we go. That is who made the All-Star game. Let's continue to simulate to trade deadline prep and see if this team continues to win games. Once Valdez is back, our team should start winning a lot of games. Okay, let's continue to simulate. We also got probably some contracts to deal with during the season. Yep, we got some contracts now to deal with. So, calendar-wise, how are we on the season? We are 54 and 39. We are top of our division now, which is really awesome to see. First time ever being there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Contract extensions. Yeah, we got some important ones to deal with. So, Varus is going to be relatively cheap. We'll just get him back. How much money do we have in terms of extensions? I have no idea, honestly. Let's get Morrow back. Actually, maybe Morrow doesn't come back. Maybe he does. Yeah, we could get him on a 2-year deal at like 600 something K, maybe 700 something. That's relatively cheap. File, I don't know if he comes back. I don't know. Wentz is still pretty good. Oh, he wants a lot of money. Oh my god. I hate when I have to run into a lot of money. Victor Reyes, I think, needs to come back. He's had a fabulous year this year. Hitting a 920, or his 924 OPS is really good. But he's going to want a lot of money. Maybe not. That's not terrible. Let's try and talk him up a little bit, maybe. He probably wants like a 6-year deal, which I don't really want to do a 5-year deal. Or a 6-year deal. I don't know if that's a bad contract. He's actually 32 already. Let's do 4 years. He's going to probably be on decline soon now. Let's give him a 2-year deal and give him 36.8. Yeah, that works. Okay, Vidal Brujan, relatively cheap player, 1 year. Would you accept a 1-year deal? Just because I honestly have no idea. He wants a longer contract, of course. 2 years, then we'll give you, and I'll give you 9. A little bit more, 9.2, 9.4. There you go. Brock Deathridge is arbitration eligible, so we'll leave it for now. Poche, I don't know if he comes back. Wentz is a big one to get back. Matt Manning is also a pretty solid one to get back. Oh man, these players are expensive. Let's see if I could talk him down to like 90 mil for 5 years. He accepts that. Aoki probably won't come back. Maybe he will. I don't know. He's been really good for us, but he's very expensive, I think. He's not relatively that bad. But I don't know if he would accept a 1-year deal. He might. And he wants a longer deal. I don't really know. Alexander's also pretty old. I might leave some of these guys for now. Ladwig, 5 years at 1.6. I mean, that's not bad, but he's already 32. 1 to 3 years, he wants only 380K a year. He doesn't really have interest in that long term, though. Let's just do 790K. Maybe he becomes a player for us next season. And then Wentz, that's not terrible of a contract. Let's see if I can get him for less, though, for like 48 mil. That works. Okay, everybody else here I'll leave for now. But those contracts, I don't know if they were good contracts, but that's what I'll do just to get this done a little bit quicker. It's funny that the guy's name is CJ Abrams, though. It makes me think of like the director JJ Abrams. Okay, so that is good. Let's sim 2 contract extensions part. Come on, boys, let's keep winning games. If we can make the playoffs this year, that would be nice. And yeah, let's stop simulating. How are we standings-wise now? We are 60 and 43, and we're 2 games up on the Twins. Nice. Let me take a look at our pitching rotation and maybe readjust this if there's anything that I want to. Scooble's been fantastic so far, but also has Mize. I'm gonna move. Actually, Gerald Martin's been good though, because isn't his FIP record really good? Yeah, his FIP is pretty solid. I think. I don't know. Reliever-wise, I think everything's going good. David Jordan's been pretty good as a reliever. I like that. Diego Corona's playing as our closer now, and he's actually improved a lot. That's great to see. He's up to an 86. Okay, that's good news. How about injured list? Any injured players still? Nope. How has Valdez been since returning? Sitting at 217. He's really struggling this year. Let me actually go to our lineup and see if he's in the lineup still. No, he's not. Got to take Deathridge out. But Valdez back in all those spots. And also, actually not in these spots. Maybe in those spots. Yeah, we'll move those around as well. Yeah, I think we'll do something like that. Yeah, that works for me. Okay, perfect. Let's continue simulating and see if Valdez could help around with the offense. He should be able to. I think this team should more than likely be making the playoffs at this rate, because we are doing so good. And I think we don't necessarily need to bring Aoki back just because Corona's up to around the same overall. Deatherage could probably come back, but he's probably going to want a decent amount of money. But if he's arbitration eligible, we could get him for cheaper. Alexander, Poche, and then File. Yeah, that's fine for now. Let's sim to September call-ups, which means we're going to get Cortez into our lineup, I think. Which is nice, because Cortez is a pretty solid young prospect of ours. A little bit of a rougher month to start this one, but we're still winning a lot of games, which I am liking a lot. Hopefully we don't suffer any injuries, or hopefully we didn't suffer any injuries that month. Because if we lose a big player going into the playoffs, that's going to suck a lot. What do we got here? Injured list. Just Jonathan Johnson, who's there for 1 to 2 months. It sucks that this guy's not growing at all, but he's such a really good like AA player. And then Fido as well is injured. Not any huge players. Let's continue to simulate 2 September call-ups. See if we could continue winning games. Our team is definitely going to make the playoffs, I think, at this rate. Yeah, we're 78 and 54. I'm loving how this team's simulating. Like, the only problem I have with our team is our power and our defense are not that good. Like, going into the playoffs, we might not be a good, like, we might be a good team in terms of standings, but we could still end up losing. Like, we're 5 games up, though, on the Twins for first in our division, which is a good sign. But when it comes to the playoffs, who knows what could happen. But hopefully we could win our division. At this rate, I think we definitely win our division. For September call-ups, let me just take a look. I should do this all on my own. How much players we got to call up? Like 2. So in this case, we got to call up, I think we got to call up Cortez. And we got to call up like 1 more player. Which I think in that case, who is one of our better prospects that are down there by overall. Veras is up to a 68. How's he been doing actually now? Not terrible actually. He's got a 712 OPS. I like that. I like that. For his overall, he's been actually not that bad. But who do we got to call up? Drew Waters would go back through waivers if we sent him back down, I think. And I don't really need another outfielder in this. Luis Garcia. Yeah, it's got to be Luis Garcia. Luis Garcia. We're going to move you up. And now we have a pretty good deeper roster in terms of that. Yeah, our roster's friggin' nuts this year. Like, we're not as good as some teams, but we're definitely making our way up there in terms of like overalls and stuff. Let's continue to simulate the rest of this regular season. Let's go to the 23rd and auto-fix AAA's lineup and whatnot. Come on, boys. We're losing a little bit too much games this month. I don't like that. I auto-fixed lineups. I don't want to auto-manage this, so let me go to this. Colvin just got put on IL. 1 to 2 months. Oh no, that's the exact injury I didn't want to have happen. We ended up losing our our best player pretty much, and he's gonna be out for the playoffs, more than likely. Broken forearm. Of course, somebody had to break his forearm going into the playoffs. Oh, that's a huge loss. Oh, wait, you must have 28. Actually, we need to call those guys up. Are you kidding me? We have to have 28, and I was under the limit. I thought it said I was over the limit. Oh no, now I gotta call those guys up, and I used minor league options that I didn't need to. Let's move you back to the MLB Cortez. Let's move you back to the MLB Garcia. And we need 1 more player back up here, which we need to bring back up Mr. George Veras. I misread that, and that's not good, because now I just used minor league options, I think, for no reason. Let's continue to simulate, get the rest of this regular season done. I have 27 players, so I need to actually call up 1 player. That's why. Because with the injury to Colvin. Colvin plays first base, third base, left field. What do we got for those positions? First base is fine if Valdez plays there. Third base, don't want to call up Nunez yet. Left fielding wise, we could call up Drew Waters, which I think I'm going to do that. That's good. So yeah, Drew Waters will come up for the playoffs, I guess, if he's eligible, just because of those injuries, or that injury. No. Oh, yikes, we're losing a lot of games near the end. We're only 2 games up now, 87 and 69. Come on, I don't want to, be in the wild card. I'd rather win the division. Let me just readjust the pitching rotation a little bit. Let's put Scooble as our #1 dude. Wow, a lot of these pitchers' ERAs are going up, which is not a good sign. I don't even know what to really do with this. Our relievers have been pretty good still. Change Wentz with Fulmer, which I can't really do. Change Aoki and Corona a bit again. And I think that is pretty much that. Let me just take a look at our lineups. What I want to do with this. Oh, it swapped around our lineups, I think, a little bit, but it also could be because we lost Colvin. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. Just continue simulating. You know, we're losing a little bit too much games. This series against the White Sox is actually to win the series, pretty much, or the division. Yep, it's pretty much to win the division. So let's simulate through these 3 games, and we win 2 of 3. That is huge. That is huge. 3 games left on the season, all against Kansas City. Sitting through them all, and we go 1 and 2, which is not good. But we do win our division, I think. Unless these other teams still have games to play, but we finished 90 and 72 on the season, so a very good year for our team. And yeah, our pitching and our contact are up there really good, but power is still not that good. Defense is okay, it's still not good, and speed could be improved a bit. But now comes the fun part where we get to take a look at our team stats for the season and all that. Injury list, Colvin's still out. Yep, that's a huge blow to our team going into the playoffs, so really sucks. Okay, let's go to our roster, see our player stats for the season. So Casey Mize, I wouldn't say he was fantastic unless his FIP is good, which his FIP was maybe around the same as his ERA. So an okay season from Casey Mize. Scooble was really good. I think he was better earlier on in the year, but he still played pretty good the entire year. Yeah, that FIP is really nice, I think. Chauncey McElroy, pretty solid year from him. At least he got 12 wins. His FIP 4.75. Hopefully these guys are better in the playoffs. He's up to an 88 overall at 23, which is nice. Matt Manning, at least a lot of these guys still won a lot of games, but David Jordan as a reliever was pretty good. Won a lot of games as well out of the bullpen. Gerald Martin, I don't know if his FIP was really good or what, but he kind of struggled by comparison to last year. Still won us a lot of games, which is always great to see. And we can't check AAA stats really anymore. Wentz was pretty good. And then if we go to our relievers, Alexander was really good with that 2.86 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP. Norris was fantastic. I don't know how many games he played. Doesn't look like he played that much. He only played 9 games. Interesting. Poche was really good as well. Yeah, our relievers in general are pretty good. Looks like Green could get called up maybe next season and be in the roster. Moreno is down there in AAA still. Fulmer, pretty solid numbers as well. And then we go to our closers and setup pitchers, I guess you could say. Diego Corona was pretty damn good this year, which is great to see considering last year he was struggling a lot. This year he had a really good year. And then Aoki, also really solid this year. And we go to our catchers. Reeds hit a 273. He had a really good season. Was not expecting that all of a sudden, because last year he was not that fantastic, but this year he stepped it up a lot, looks like. Laurencio was okay, not great. Then we go to our first baseman. Yeah, Colvin was fantastic, but then that injury happened. He was hitting a 263. He had 28 home runs and 79 RBIs. Valdez, 15 home runs and 54 RBIs, but he missed a lot this season. His batting average was not great, but it could be because of that injury factor, I don't know. But yeah, still an okay season from him, but it was his worst year yet so far. Second baseman wise, Brujan was pretty solid in terms of RBIs. Cortez, who got called up, was hitting the 231, so not too bad. Third baseman wise, Paradis was horrendous, hitting a 158. Now, he did pick it up since the start of the year, but still not that good. Candelario hitting at 274 was pretty good. And then we go to shortstops. Castro was fantastic, hitting at 316 batting average. Really good season from Willie. Glad I re-signed him. Luis Garcia, pretty good in his limited time that he played. Packard was really good as well. He is signed for one more year after this. Gary Harrell was really good, hitting at 250. Victor Reyes was hitting at 313. Jeez. Yeah, some of these guys did really good. A lot of our veterans actually helped out a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Also, George Veras was okay, I think. Like, that OPS was like, what? 704. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Let's take a look at the league leaders, I guess, and then top prospects and standings and team stats as well. And then we'll see who we're up against in the first round of the playoffs. Well, actually, not the first round. I guess it's the ALDS, right? But still. So, Castro and Reyes both led the league in batting average in terms of AL. That's impressive to have two guys both up there. That's what I meant about our veterans showing up. Interesting. Hits-wise, Castro was up there, which is good to see. Anybody else up there in terms of stuff? Packard was up there in doubles, almost tied for first. Triple-wise, we didn't have anybody up there. Home runs, we had nobody up there. 53 home runs, though, from Randy in Toronto. It's crazy. RBI-wise, nobody's up there for us as well. Runs, Reyes is up there in stolen bases. That's nice to see. Candelario's up there on base on balls. What else we got here? OPS-wise, Castro was one of the best in terms of OPS. Wins-wise for pitchers, geez, Luis Severino had 19 wins this year. Yeah, Houston's probably going to win the World Series this year. Which really sucks, but whatever. Most losses in this, or least losses this season, Skubal had one of the least, was 7. Saves this year, we didn't have anybody up there. ERA-wise, Tarek Skubal with that 2.88. That's pretty good. What else we got here? Shutouts. Wilson Brooks had 5 shutouts. Jeez. I don't know if this guy's a real player or not, but this guy's crazy for Kansas City. 5 shutouts. It's nuts. Strikeout-wise, nobody up there for us. Complete games, nobody up there from us. That guy pitched 5 complete games, though. What the heck? And whip-wise, the best whip-wise, Skubal was up there as well, but Luis Severino is probably going to win the whatever that award is called again for the best pitcher. The Cy Young. Forrest Whitley, whoever you are. Really good WAR for him, like fantastic WAR for pitching. And batting WAR, Adley Rutschman was crazy good as well. Interesting. But Reyes up there for us, which is good. Okay, let's take a look at the top prospects just for something different. So Garcia's still up there, which is good to see. Dennis Tucker's getting good development. Yeah, Dennis Tucker might be in our rotation next year, or might be used as a reliever. Rodrigo Messias is up there. He's getting good development. Riley Green, yeah, our future I think is getting brighter and brighter after every single season. Robbie Harvey's up there. Nice. Let's take a look at those team rankings just to see where we were good at. So we were the 5th best team in batting average, but we were only just a tiny bit below Kansas City. So pretty good for batting average, which is nice to see. Runs wise, looks like we didn't score enough runs though. 7th best in runs, that's actually pretty good. Hits wise, we were actually tied for 4th, so I'm kind of surprised our offense was actually that good. We were 3rd in doubles. Triples, it looks like we don't get a lot of triples though, right? Yeah, triples we were tied for 19th, and then home run wise we were probably low as well. Yeah, home run wise we were 22nd, so it seems like we're a good contact team for sure. And then once it comes to hitting the ball like to get a triple or a home run, we're just not that good at it. Runs batted in, 7th best in RBIs. Stolen bases, we were 2nd best behind the Washington Nationals. What else we got here? Strikeouts, we were 3rd best in strikeouts, so we don't strike out that often. I'm very impressed with this team to an extent. On base percentage, we were 4th. Ground into double plays. Looks like we ground into a lot of double plays still. Yep, 28th and ground into double plays. That's not good. Assists, not that that matters. 5th. We got also ERA wise, we were the 9th best team in ERA behind the Brewers, the Seattle, San Diego, Chicago, the Twins, the Houston, Astros, LA, and the Diamondbacks were number 1. Okay. And saves, we were tied for 3rd. And I think that's almost it, right? Strikeouts for pitchers, we are definitely not up there. We still don't strike out enough because, like, Casey Mize is, like, the only strikeout player, really. Win percentage, we are tied for 4th. That's pretty good. Let me take actually a look at the standings. How did we finish in terms of the entire league? We had 90 wins. Who had more wins than us this year? So the Giants and the Diamondbacks, who went into the wild card. So the NL is going to be nuts this year. Both finished with 92 wins. 92 wins on the season for both of them. Damn, 94 wins for the Cubs. Yeah, so the NL looks like it's probably going to have another World Series champion. It's 94 wins as opposed to my 90 wins. I mean, we scored 735 runs. We allowed 642, 4-6 in our last 10, 38-38 against our own division, 43-38 against on home ice, or not home ice, home field. I'm used to saying home ice. 47-34 on the road, which is really good. 38-32 in day games and 52-40 at night. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, I think that's pretty much that. Let's advance a few days just to get to the playoff matchup to see who we're facing. We're going to be facing the Toronto Blue Jays. Oh man, of course we have to face the Canadian team. Let me just simulate up to there. There we go. So, taking on Toronto, let's take a look at what Toronto looks like going into this playoff matchup. Like I said, I have no idea how I'm going to run the playoffs, but if you guys have any tips, let me know. Actually, we should take a look at awards as well quickly before we take a look at that. So, Packard's going to win the Golden Glove Award for left fielders and the Silver Slugger to Willie Castro. But I will quickly just go through this, just in case you guys wanted to see anything else, in case there's anybody up there for stuff. But yeah, it's going to be probably pretty tough beating Toronto, but I don't know how they finish the season. Let's go through this quickly. But yeah, Toronto, I would assume they still have... Actually, no, they don't have Bo Bichette anymore, because I think I saw him on the White Sox. Let's take a look at the roster, see what they are made of. But if you have any tips for how I could run the playoffs, let me know, because I am open to anything pretty much. So let's take a look at Toronto. So yeah, they have Nate Pearson, Mike Soroka, DL Hall. Actually, I should go by the lineups and stuff instead. Yeah, that would make more sense. Let's go to Toronto on this. So let's actually go back the opposite direction. There they are. So yeah, Nate Pearson is their ace. They also have Soroka, Hall, as I was saying, Lopez, and the Loshi. So pitching rotation wise, they're pretty good. Like Nate Pearson this year, not the greatest ERA wise. Soroka was really good. DL Hall is pretty solid as well, looks like. Lopez was okay, or pretty good as well. Loshi, that was his first season. I wouldn't say their pitching is that great, but maybe their bullpen is better. I don't know. They don't look like they're maybe that great of a pitching team. They do have a really good closer though. In Bruce-Dar. Yeah, this guy's a really good closer. So yeah, that's their pitching and their bullpen. Let's take a look at their lineup. Let's go a couple back. There you go. So their leadoff man against right-handed pitchers is Miles Straw. They also have Nick Prado, Gleyber Torres. That's a really good one. So it looks like they're more of a hitting offensive team than a defensive team, kind of similar to us to an extent. Randy Arozina. Oh yeah, this guy that just had 50 home runs, right? Yep, this guy had 53 home runs. That's going to be really tough to beat that dude. Considering we give up a lot of hits, I think. Yeah, because we don't strike out a lot of people. That's not good. Randy Arozina is going to be tough to beat. They also have Xander Bogaerts, my god. Alec Thomas, Danny Jansen, Jacob Gonzalez, and Christopher Cespedes. And then also in terms of like bench players, Luis Torrens, Joaquin Diaz, or Dias, I don't know how it's pronounced. Nicky Lopez, Jami Jones. Yeah, Jami Jones, I think. Josh Rojas, and yeah, that's pretty much that. So, I don't know. This is a tough team to play against. I don't know if we have a chance. We probably do, considering we had a good season, but we need to play better defensively, I think. Yeah, so they were the leader in their division, going 86 and 76. We had 4 more wins. They're 8-2 in our last 10, which I don't like. They're really good in day games, and we're not that great in day games. We're better at night games, and they're not as great at night games. And then they're 16th in contact. We're 7th in contact. They're 4th in power. We're 29th in power. They're 15th in pitching. We're 6th in pitching. Defensively, they're 8th, and we are 28th. And in speed-wise, we're 14th, and they're 5th. I feel like we're going to lose, but I don't know. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the first round of the playoffs against Toronto as we look to go to the ALCS against either Minnesota or Houston. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.